This video training is for the ride leaders of numbums.org, a Portland, Oregon bicycle group. The component of the program we're going to discuss at the moment is the ride levels. If you click the ride levels button, it brings up a list of riders, and the purpose of this particular sort of members is to help you take a look at what is the cycling level as the member assesses themselves. This will help you in planning rides. If you're looking at perhaps who hasn't been attending and where do we stand with the number of intermediate advanced riders, how many novice riders do we have at the moment, this may help you in doing some of the planning of rides that you would like to do and that people would attend. This just to let you know how these columns are set up. Again, if you want to take a look at the details of any of these individual members, all you have to do is double click on the member name and their profile pops up. You can change any information in this profile. It's periodically re-imported from the database where the members sign in at the meetup group. So once in a while you'll find that there are members showing up that are not on the list. It's simply because they've recently joined and have not been imported into the program yet. What we'd like the ride leaders to do, other than gather information, how cyclists rate themselves, the kinds of rides that cyclists are asking for, we'd like the ride leaders to update the cycling skill and fitness level as you perceive it. It's amazing how many people consider themselves intermediate. You can find some very strong riders who consider themselves an intermediate rider while you might place them as advanced. You can find other people who consider themselves an advanced rider and you might consider them a strong novice. By having the ride leader assess the information and share this with other ride leaders, by the way, this is not visible to any of the members. This helps the ride leader sort of plan the ride. They can adapt and decide whether or not they need a sweep if they've got someone who might be a little slower than the rest of the group, that sort of thing. Each ride leader is going to manage this in his own way. One of the things to notice is that, for example, let's take Nancy Drew. We see that in her cycling skill, the ride leaders determined that this is a new rider. She's probably riding, if I remember correctly, a hybrid, doesn't use click-in pedals. So since she's not clipped in and is fairly uncomfortable in traffic, her cycling skill is going to be at novice level. However, this gal works out all the time and she's very strong and has no trouble keeping up with some of the intermediate riders on lighter, more aerodynamic bikes. As we go down the list, we have typically what we're going to do is initially just put in whatever the rider assesses themselves at. And then if you go with a person and you see that, for example, Abe is typically a strong intermediate rider, but in his cycling skill, but he's been laying off all winter. So if this is a spring ride, we may decide that Abe enjoyed the Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners and snacks a little too much, and he's at a novice fitness level, even though his skill level in terms of dealing with traffic and rider etiquette, that sort of thing, is at a high level. So this allows people to judge what kind of rides would be of interest to our members. So keep the information as updated as you can and use it to plan rides.